this content is for kids.
It's not for kids.
Isn't that what I said?
No, it's not for kids. If you are 13 years or younger, this is not for you. Do I have to kill somebody in order to actually make that point across?
No, man, you don't have to kill no
Wait a
one.
second.
No.
When we return to our planet, the High Court may well sentence you to torture.
He likes movies, we like movies. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. SeptumSin versus the world. I'd buy that for $1.
Greetings! You're watching SeptumSin vs. the World. I'm SeptumSin. Today we are on part 5 of our music. I may or may not go back into the books. It just depends. To me, I look at the books as sort of a bonus one. So if I'm like feeling extra frisky and extra like I want to record lots of videos, I'll probably throw one of those out. But let me know about your interest in that later on in the comments below. So I have 10 more of my CDs from my from my music collection. Some of them are pretty unique, and I think the vast majority, if not all of them, are mine. Not inherited, like seems like we've been doing. So first is this group called the Cartoons. Kind of see there, they got this kind of weird cartoony look here with they're of course known for their rendition of Witch Doctor, but they are for the most part what appears to be a kids band. They do 2 albums. I've only got Toontastic, and you get a little fold out with them in costume and their little things here. I always like weird stuff, and this is kind of a weird, though kidsy music there, but still it's fun. They do a pretty fun rendition of Breaking Up Is Hard to Do. I also like, let me see here, I want to say, oh yeah, they do a Spanish rendition of Witch Doctor as well. I want to say Eeny Meeny, which is one of my favorites that they do. There's another one of them. That's the group there. A lot of art there, a lot of the stuff there for you to look at. So it's okay. Especially if you've got kids, I think you could really get kids into some pretty cool music through this. I think it would be fun, and it's kind of cool having something odd like that in the collection. Of course, we can't go without having some classic in the collection, so I've got the Sounds of Summer Beach Boys, which has 30 tracks on it. That's pretty nice for the Beach Boys. Not much of a disc art, but you know, that's just like a little pamphlet which can show you more stuff from them. But it does have a booklet, which is cool. It's basically got some stuff on them, a little bit about what music they have, like with the basic information, who wrote it and all that. Yeah, my father was a piano technician, and he actually helped tune up the instruments for the Beach Boys before a concert way back when. So it was kind of cool to also get this. This is just fairly decent classic music. So of course most everybody had this. If you were in college or school in the late 90s, early 2000s, I mean really, you know, Blink-182, Is This Infected? No, sorry, not Is This Infected, that's Sum 41. This is an Enema of the State. You know, you would have this if you were there. I mean, an old roommate of mine kind of ruined some of Blink-182's stuff, but I still like a lot of it. And this is it's a classic album. It's the only album I own from them. But I did enjoy this. I still do enjoy this album. I mean, let's show this here. Of course, you got the CD itself. Case has kind of seen better days, but it was one of those that got hit by a car accident I was in a while back. A lot of my collection, unfortunately, has been scuffed by that. I mean, What's My Age Again? That's a classic right there. The party song will always be ruined for me because, shoot, a roommate in college would play like the song over and over and over. I mean, like 15, 16 times a day. He just loved that song. And Welcome to the Jungle. He would play that also, and a couple of DMX tracks. I, to this day, because of that, cannot get into DMX. So, next up is Blind Guardian, which I have 2 albums of, and they've got similar themes. But you've got this one here, which is Tales from Twilight World. Blind Guardian is a metal band. They have a lot of fantasy theming, if you haven't been able to tell. I got this because they have the Lord of the Rings song, which is freaking awesome. It is probably one of my favorite songs. But they also have some other cool tracks on here, like Tommy Knockers and Welcome to Dying. I do enjoy those tracks. So you got that. That's kind of a fantasy D&D nerd. You couldn't really, yeah, you got all the lyrics on here. You couldn't really go wrong with Blind Guardian. But of course, also, there was Nightfall on Middle Earth, which is all about the Silmarillion. I've read the Silmarillion, and that in itself is a chore, but I love the art on this. This is just an epic album. It's meant to be listened to all at once. The songs kind of go right into each other, and it's just epic all the way through. But if I was to look at a track that's there, Nightfall is probably my favorite track on there. But again, they all go together, and if you understand the book, you'll really enjoy the album. Alright, next up is one that I got offline. It was a Concrete Blonde collection, and that's because she was the first one to do a song. For those of you who are familiar with the movie Pump Up the Volume, they were playing this song with Leonard Cohen, everybody knows. But of course, he actually did a cover. That was his cover of it. Concrete Blonde is the original. And Concrete Blonde is very interesting. Again, I only have one of her CDs. And this one is a promotional disc. So again, I don't know how many of real stuff got released. But I like her rendition of Everybody Knows on here. Probably the best out of it. Now the Leonard Cohen edition is pretty good, but that one is just quite good. I need to just sit back and listen to this one again, just to hear this album out. So, speaking of Leonard Cohen, best of Leonard Cohen, best value, you see. Has a lot of this, including Everybody Knows and Hallelujah, which are the 2 that he was known the best for. Everybody Knows is such a good song. I think that both versions should be listened to if you haven't. Such a dark and haunting song. Of course, late great Leonard Cohen, he's no longer with us, but He was quite the musician. Very dark, very fun, kind of haunting tones. So, of course, what punk fan would I be without having at least one Clash album, which has the singles? Oh, you know, I was looking for this a while back, and I don't know why I didn't have it. Oh well. So this has, of course, all their greatest hits: London Calling, Rock the Casbah, which I don't know why I never thought of them doing it. Tommy Gun. I enjoy a lot of these. Again, classic punk. These were the original punk rockers. There were several groups that I consider like original, like punk rock, people who kind of helped stir the birth of it and what it was, and the Clash is one of those groups. One friend of mine says, well, if you like the Sex Pistols, you gotta listen to the Clash. So, next up is one I was looking for a while, another metal one, called Circus of the Dead Squirrels, the Pop Culture Massacre, and the End of the World. I had to pick this up as just a whim, and there was one on here that I thought was fun. Let's see here. I'm looking for it. Elmo's Last Laugh. I don't know what it was about that, but it's just again, I can't imagine this band went on to do a lot, but it's fun to see. Do we have any Circus of the Dead Squirrels fans in the audience here? You got this, like, all these like cartoon mascots ready to like just murder you. I'll have to keep this one aside to just show off. And then, of course, finally, we have Black Sabbath Dehumanizer. I need to get into more Black Sabbath, but I did really like, I really did like Time Machine and Master of Insanity. That's kind of a plainish album. I probably found it at a thrift store for like pennies on the dollar, and I just thought I was going to listen to it, and that's probably what I did. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this, this next stroll through CD lane, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Goodbye.